If you're into the world of dinosaurs, you're going to get a kick out of this. The Denver Museum of Nature and Science in Denver, Colorado, of course, they discovered a fossilized dinosaur bone deep underneath its parking lot of all places, which is ironic because they have a well known dinosaur exhibit inside the museum. So they've been drilling a deep hole underneath their parking lot to study geothermal activity. And at the point where they've drilled hundreds of feet down, they just happened to pull a fossilized dinosaur vertebrate from the rocky material they've been drilling into. So this comes from the AP. A Denver Dino Museum makes a find deep under its own parking lot, which is like hitting a hole in one from the moon. So these are these core samples. I can't think of another way to put it, but I mean it's essentially these rocky samples from this drill, which is somewhere around 4 centimeters wide. So it's a pretty small hole that they're drilling hundreds of feet into their parking lot, and these are the samples that they've pulled from this drilling project that they've been working on. So let's see. A Denver museum known for its dinosaur displays has made a fossil bone find closer to home than anyone ever expected underneath its own parking lot. So it came from a hole drilled more than 750 feet or 230 meters deep to study geothermal heating potential for the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. So really far down. Tens of millions of years ago was the point where this find was on the surface of the earth. So over erosion and millions of years worth of time, these dinosaurs that once roamed the area, what is now known as Denver, Colorado, they're now buried 750 feet deep underground, which is absolutely fascinating to me. I find that to be absolutely wild. But anyway, the museum is popular with dinosaur enthusiasts of all ages. Full-size dinosaur skeletons amaze the kiddos, barely knee-high to a parent, much less to a Tyrannosaurus. This latest find is not so visually impressive, but even so, the odds of finding the hockey puck-shaped fossil sample were impressively small, with a bore only a couple of inches, which is 5 centimeters wide. I thought it was 4, but 5 centimeters wide. Museum officials struggled to describe just how unlikely it was to hit a dinosaur, even in a region with a fair number of such fossils. Quote, finding a dinosaur bone in a core is like hitting a hole in one from the moon. It's like winning the Willy Wonka factory. It's incredible. It's super rare, said James Hagedorn, the museum's curator of geology. So yeah, here's the image right here of the dinosaur vertebrate that they just happened to dig out of the ground, which since it's only 5 centimeters wide, the hole, it looks like they only got a part of it. I mean, it looks like some of it was cut off, which I mean, I don't think they're going to get that lucky. It's kind of a miracle that they were even able to get what they were able to get from this. I mean, just by chance, just happened to drill right through a dinosaur skeleton. That's crazy, especially 760 feet down. That is wild. So only 2 similar finds have been noted in borehole samples anywhere in the world, not to mention on the grounds of a dinosaur museum, according to museum officials. A vertebra of a small-ish plant-eating dinosaur is believed to be the source. It lived in the late Cretaceous period around 67.5 million years ago. An asteroid impact, of course, we know. Fossilized vegetation was also found in the borehole near the bone. This animal was living in what was probably a swampy environment that would have been heavily vegetated at the time, said Patrick O'Connor, curator of vertebrate paleontology at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. Man, that is a very specific curator role. So they have a curator of vertebrate paleontology. I wonder how many curators in the dinosaur world that they have at the Denver Museum. Just curious. Anyway, dinosaur discoveries in the area over the years include portions of Tyrannosaurus rex and Triceratops type fossils. This one is Denver's deepest and oldest yet, O'Connor said. Other experts in the field vouched for the find's legitimacy, but with mixed reactions. Someone said, it's a surprise, I guess. Scientifically, it's not that exciting. Damn, what a dick. Said Thomas Williamson, curator of paleontology at the New Mexico Museum of Natural History and Science at Albuquerque. Okay, well, remind me to maybe bypass that museum. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not saying that at all. Just throwing out just a stupid joke. But anyway, there was no way to tell exactly what species of dinosaur it was, Williamson noticed. Okay, well, if that's all that he's, making a snarky remark on, then okay, fine, whatever. No big deal. I mean, the type of dinosaur, I mean, could you at least agree that it's a dinosaur? It's a dinosaur, vertebrate. I mean, it seems like they could probably at least come to an agreement on that. But anyway, somebody else, Aaron LeCount, is a lot more enthusiastic about it. The find is absolutely legit and very cool. Director of Education Programs at the Dinosaur Ridge track site just west of Denver said by email. The fossil's shape suggests it was a duck-billed dinosaur or Thessaliosaurus, a smaller but somewhat similar species, LeCount noted. The borehole fossil is now on display in the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, of course, but there are no plans to look for more under the parking lot. And they said, I would love to dig a 763-foot hole in the parking lot to excavate that dinosaur, the rest of it, but I don't think that's going to fly because we really need parking, Hagedorn said. Yeah, I mean, not to mention how insanely expensive it would probably be to dig a hole 763 feet down in Denver. I mean, it's possible. I'm sure it's quite warm down there, but yeah, it doesn't sound like that's going to end up happening, which, I mean, that kind of sucks, but that would be absolutely wild if they were able, or if they decided to actually go through with that. But who knows? Maybe Elon Musk's Boring Company, maybe they might have the ability to just turn one of their giant machines vertical and just drill straight down, like about 760 feet. Maybe. I mean, it's going to leave this massive hole in the ground, which would require quite a lot to refill it. I mean, of course, you would have to probably pile up all of that rocky material, gravel, and whatever it would turn into during this process. You probably would want to keep it somewhere on site. But since they don't have any additional space for parking, I somehow doubt that that's going to end up being of any possibility, especially just excavating that one dinosaur. Plus, I mean, there could be dozens of dinosaurs in the immediate vicinity, or there could be none other ones. That could be the only one, maybe. Maybe they were just that insanely lucky. Or it could just be this mass grave of dinosaurs in this one vertebrate. I mean, they weren't necessarily lucky. I mean, they were lucky in the way that the museum just happens to sit at the exact same location as a dinosaur mass burial site, or like some during, I don't know, mass extinction event or whatever the case might have been. I know sometimes they happen upon dinosaur skeletons where they were numerous in volume, and they usually can't exactly explain why. I mean, in some cases, they'll find like 30, 40 dinosaurs in one specific location of different species. It's like, how did they all die in the same place at the exact same time? I mean, of course, there was the end of the Cretaceous period with the meteor. I mean, yeah, that's probably a reason why a lot of dinosaur mass quote-unquote graves have been located, was probably due to that event alone. But so anyway, yeah, so that's from the AP. And I also have this from NBC, not ABC, NBC, WNBC News. Dinosaur fossil found under Denver Museum parking lot. So I figured I'd give this a play. They essentially talk about the same thing, but, why not give it a go?
Dinosaur fossils are a big draw at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. You can find them all over. But when a team of scientists from the museum were doing research in the parking lot back in January, they didn't expect to find one right below their feet.
I mean, the probability, if you had drilled the well 2 feet over, might not have hit it. So it's pretty amazing.
Dr. James Hagedorn led the team drilling into the parking lot. They were digging scientific cores, testing whether or not the museum could transition from natural gas to geothermal energy.
So a scientific core is basically a cylinder of rock that we extract, kind of like a doctor uses a syringe to extract blood from you. So in a way, it is a bunch of dirt. It's kind of ancient dirt, actually.
And nearly 800 feet into ancient dirt,
it is ancient
the fossil
dirt.
showed up.
So one of the surprising things about this dinosaur in particular is that it turns out it's not only Denver's deepest dinosaur, but it's also its oldest.
Those aren't the only records this bone is breaking.
This is the first, and as far as I know, the only dinosaur bone from a core in the world that you can go see. There's only 3 of these that have been discovered on Earth. and that have been reported.
Dr. Hagedorn says his paleontologist colleagues determined the bone is the vertebra of a plant-eating dino.
Maybe something similar to the Admonosaurus over here, or to a
Fascinating how the hell they can
Fasciculosaurus,
find
or
out
one of their
how exactly
kindred
or
spirits
what
of the
kind of
time.
dinosaur.
And thanks to the rest of the core, he says you can tell the layer the fossil was found near was that of a pond.
So for me, it's pretty neat to see, was that dinosaur drinking water out of that pond or munching on plants nearby? It's just something cool to imagine.
A rare discovery made right beneath his feet.
It is a
When
needle
it was
inside of a
savagely
needle
killed by
inside of a
a
haystack.
predator dinosaur.
Brian Wendland, 9 News.
Very
We
interesting.
thank you for watching.
Yeah, very interesting story. I thought that was really cool. My daughter, she is very fascinated with the world of paleontology since she was old enough to read. She's my equivalent of my fascination with astronomy since I was old enough to read. She took a turn toward dinosaurs and paleontology. So, yeah, I just thought that was fascinating. But yeah, I get notified occasionally whenever something like that hits the news just for that reason, because I like sharing stuff like that with my daughter, and she got a real kick out of that. But anyway, that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you later.